One morning, Kevin was going on a run in the woods. As he was running in the woods alone, he found a brown wooden box neatly kept on a rock. He was deep in the jungle and didn't expect to find a neatly polished wooden box. He walked towards it, and when he tried to touch it, he had a sick feeling like he was going to throw up. But the feeling went away after a few seconds. He held it and was having a good look at it. He had this feeling that he was being watched. As he felt this, he heard a branch snap 10 feet behind him. It startled him. He immediately looked back, but there was no one. After that, he left the box and was leaving. Just when he was leaving, he immediately stopped. He had an urge to keep the box with him, and he did. He went again towards the rock and took the box home. He kept the box on a table in his bedroom and went to work. It was a normal day for him at work, but after some time he thought about the box. Then all of a sudden, all he could think about was the box. He wasn't just a bit quiet. He went completely silent. His friends thought he must not be well and didn't take it seriously. His best friend John came to drop him home since he thought Kevin was unwell. When he entered his house, he felt something was off, but he didn't pay attention to it and just made sure Kevin was okay. After some time, he discovered the box in Kevin's room and asked about it. He immediately came running and snatched the box from him and said, "Nothing." John was surprised seeing his behavior. Even Kevin himself realized it was a bit odd. He asked himself, "Why am I doing this?" But he didn't have any answers. It was like something else was controlling Kevin now. John was worried now, and he decided to stay for the night. Kevin slept on the bed, and John slept on the couch, which was just opposite to his bed. At around 2 a.m., Kevin woke up. He literally felt his bed bouncing, as if someone went under his bed and was kicking it from under. It happened around 3 to 4 times, and it stopped. John was already up, and he witnessed the whole thing. He couldn't believe what he just saw, and was out of words. Kevin didn't understand what was happening, and he fell from his bed. When he asked John what happened, he said, "The bed was bouncing," in a nervous tone. Both of them were confused and scared. They didn't know what to do. Kevin somehow slept, but John couldn't. In the morning, he didn't waste any time and rushed straight to his house as he was creeped out. He had a feeling that it was all because of the box. The following day, Kevin didn't show up at work. Everyone thought he wanted some time off as he was not well, but John knew something was not right. Kevin, on the other hand, was now completely obsessed with the box. He stared the box for hours and hours. He himself knew something was wrong, but he couldn't help himself. He wanted to leave his house and go out for a walk, but he couldn't. It was like his body wouldn't listen to him. So he began watching out of the window, having no other option. Then he noticed something that no one could explain. He noticed that there was a delay in his reflection. He couldn't believe his own eyes. His reflection used to move half a second later than him. This started happening not only with windows, but mirrors too. Kevin completely froze with fear the first time he noticed it. But something weird would happen at the same time. His body wouldn't let him react the way he felt. He still walked around like nothing was bothering him. Even after a week when Kevin didn't show up at work, John was very worried and decided to check on him. He showed up at his house in the evening. When he saw Kevin, he was very shocked. Kevin looked very weak and lifeless, and he looked and behaved like a completely different person. He was holding the box tightly and wouldn't let go. Now John was even more suspicious about the box. He entered the house, and they were walking towards the bedroom. As they entered, Kevin dropped the box. As he was picking up the box from the floor, what John saw completely shook him. He couldn't utter a single word from his mouth. He saw, even though Kevin was picking up the box from the floor, his reflection in the mirror was just standing holding the box and was staring at him with a creepy smile. John fell on the floor and dragged himself out of the room and ran out of the house. He was so scared that he was gasping for air. When he reached home, he was trying to process what he just saw. He was very concerned for Kevin and decided that he would break in his house and destroy the box without him knowing. At midnight, around 2 a.m., John broke into his house. He slowly proceeded towards his bedroom while looking for Kevin everywhere. When he peeked into his bedroom, Kevin was not there and the box was on the table. He thought, this is the best chance he's got. He picked up the box and got out of the room, As he closed the door and was about to leave, he heard a growling sound behind him. He was so scared that he couldn't move. When he turned, he saw a human-like figure standing in front of him. It slowly started moving towards John. When he saw, he was shocked that it actually was Kevin. He was barely looking human. He was growling and making weird noises. When he tried to walk backwards, Kevin literally jumped on him like an animal would and started scratching him. John couldn't understand what was happening. He pushed Kevin and started running for his life. As he left the house, Kevin charged through the front door and started chasing him. John was shocked when he saw the speed at which Kevin was running. His speed was inhumane, and so was his way of running. And soon enough, he started running on all fours and started roaring like an animal. They were both running. Kevin was almost catching up to him and was scratching his back again and again. John was bleeding because of all the scratching. After running for his life for more than an hour, he was slowing down. As he slowed down, Kevin, who was now running on all fours, jumped in the air and pushed John, causing both of them to fall on the ground. Kevin started scratching him violently. He was almost about to pass out as he lost too much blood at this point. Kevin tried to snatch the box from him, but John was so determined to save his friend that even in the condition he is in, he didn't give up. Having no other option, Kevin found a piece of sharp wood next to him and was preparing to stab John. As he saw that, John just threw the box on the road with all the energy he had in the hopes of breaking it, but that did nothing. The box was still intact. Seeing this, Kevin started laughing and moved forward to take the box. As he was moving forward, a truck which was speeding ran over the box and the box was completely destroyed. It was in pieces. Kevin just paused for a few seconds and just snapped out of it. He was confused as to how he ended up on the road. When he looked around him, he was shocked to see John lying on the side of the road, badly injured. He rushed him to the hospital. When Kevin asked him about that night, he didn't tell him anything, even though he had some memory about the box, but to this day he has no memory of that night.